Hello and welcome to the monthly Q&A. If you'd like to get your question answered in a Q&A like this one, then head on over to ars.fm/sharmlade and I will do my best to answer your question as long as it's not too rude. Question number 1 from Joe Edward Mason. What things do you love? I know I always answer this question. I get asked this question a lot. Things that I love, obviously Ian and my dog and being in that love sandwich that I talk about a lot. And I really love my hairdryer. I don't know if I've mentioned this before. I feel like I have, but I've always had a thing about my hairdryer. I think I said in my last Q&A actually, one of the questions was, what do you do when you can't sleep? And I explained about how I'm a really terrible sleeper. But one thing that does make me I could fall asleep to it probably at any time, which is really odd, is my hairdryer. When my hairdryer's on, I get really, really dopey. I get really it puts me into this sort of trance. So if I ever go to the hairdresser, which is very rarely, as soon as they start blow drying my hair, I'm like, oh no, I'm going to fall asleep. Right, I'm not doing this. There's, oh my God, it was clearly a bot. So I've just had, I keep getting these questions like, what do you think of this name? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions in a row. Clearly I've been answering bots, haven't I? Again, I'm not learning. What do you think of the name Reuben Thornton? What do you think of the name Eddie Luke Norman? And that's been put twice. What do you think of the name Ashley Stephen Nobes? What do you think of the name Eddie Luke Norman? I'm not answering these questions. In what ways are you creative? So I like to think that I'm a very creative person, and I express that with my voice and singing. And I also really enjoy the thought of writing, because I don't write. I've tried so many times to sit down and write a book, and I've got a great idea for a story. And I did start writing it. I never finish what I start when it comes to writing. It's just, and it annoys me so much, because I swear my bucket list is I need to finish a story. And I never have. And I just don't know when to do it around singing. I feel like once I've sang, once I've vlogged, things like that, I feel like I've got all my creative oomph out of my system. So I don't know when to sit down and be creative with my writing. And there's been so many times where I've gone on holiday, I've taken my laptop and I'm like, I'm going to write. This holiday, I'm going to sit somewhere beautiful, take out the laptop and continue writing. And it never happens. Tell me your battery percentage. What, mine? Right now I'd say I'm on 85%. My phone battery is 94%, and that's because I charge it at night, every night. What do you constantly forget about? Everything. If I don't write things down, I will forget. And any time my dad ever says to me, can you remind me to... No. Unless I've got a post-it note with me, I'm not going to remember. So I have notepads everywhere. I've got my workflow sheets, my planner, my other notepad for other stuff. I've got this is my list of, okay, that's gross, literally so much fluff on that, I don't know why. This is my notepad of, I write things down as they come into my head, things that I need to do, and then I tick them off as I go, so I know the second I think of something, it's on paper and it doesn't have to rattle around in my brain, because I am literally Dory the fish in human form. If you had an ability to look into others' past, who would be the first one on which you will use your power? Now I'm going down the true crime route, because I'm thinking about all those crimes that were committed. Imagine if you could go into one of those criminals' minds, go back into the past and see what happened. One of the cases that's always haunted me is Madeleine McCann. What happened to her? And there's so many theories, and didn't the guy that got arrested, now they're starting to say that he couldn't have done it because the phone call that he made was miles away. Imagine if you could go back into that criminal's mind, whoever did it, and and you could see exactly, I mean, you wouldn't want to see exactly how it happened, but imagine having the answer to that, to a really intricate true crime case that happened still isn't solved. What's something cool about you? I would never put the words charm and cool together. I'd put maybe the words charm and quirky, What's cool about me, I've got a really awesome dog. What's your favourite flavour of cocktails? I don't have cocktails a lot. I love cocktails, and they're a great treat when I'm out having a meal or on holiday. And I don't know if this would actually be considered a cocktail, but I really love, an authentic sangria with all the fruits and everything put into it. And it literally, the first sip of it, it's like, I'm on holiday. This is the taste of Mallorca. Describe your weekday with a movie title. With a movie title? Oh, that's my weekday with a movie title. Okay, Blair Witch Project. And the only reason I'm saying that is because I'm using a handheld camera. And also, I can't remember why, but I was looking up the Blair Witch 2. Do you remember the Blair Witch 2 movie? It was a bit of a flop, but still scared the crap out of me. Oh, and I'm having flashbacks. Just really, really spooky. What is your favourite hobby? So my favourite hobby is singing, and fortunately that's also my line of work as well, so I get to do what I love, so I'm really lucky with that. And hobbies outside of that is gaming. I love gaming. I love trying out new games, and I feel like since I am I didn't shelve World of Warcraft, like I still enjoy playing it, but like when you first start playing an MMO and you get like you're in it, you're obsessed and you're addicted and you want to play it all the time and you think about it all the time. You get to that stage where it's like, actually, I kind of feel like I can take a step back and I don't feel like I need to be playing it all the time. It opens the doors to like so many other video games and MMOs that you can go and try, and you don't feel like you should be playing that one particular MMO all the time. And it's quite freeing because then, when the Steam sales come around, it's like, so many games that I can play now, I'm free. What is your favourite piece of famous artwork? I don't know a lot of art, but I'm just trying to think. When I was a little girl, I used to collect art from, let me Google her name. Her name was, she always drew unicorns, and her name was Susan, I think it was Susan Dorr. Susan Dawes? It's just come up. Oh my goodness, it was. Okay, I'll maybe put some pictures in. But if not, do a Google search for Susan Dawes, Dawes, and then put unicorns in there. Click on images. Yeah. Oh, I had that poster. Where are all my unicorn pictures? I used to collect pictures from her, and I had them all over I had a little box room growing up, and my walls were just plastered with her artwork. Oh, I'm kind of getting obsessed again. I feel like I need to go on a Susan Dawes binge. And also, I remember in my art lessons in secondary school, we had to do an art study, and I chose to study I think it's quite a famous painting by George Stubbs. He always drew horses, and the kind of like gruesome fact about George Stubbs is he used to dissect horses so that he could better understand the anatomy when it came to drawing them. So his horse drawings were like incredibly lifelike, and all of the muscle and like veins and all of that sort of muscular structure, the skeleton and everything was really well proportioned and showed up really well in his art. And I remember studying and trying to copy his artwork. So they're the only two artists that I really know, and like obviously the Mona Lisa or something. Does your family mean a lot to you? Yes, of course they do, and they mean a lot to me as well because I don't have a big social circle, and also we're quite isolated up here in Somerset. We moved from Kent, which is where sort of our social circle was, but we're also halfway between Ian's family now, so that's a really like cool thing. So it takes the same amount of time to get there as it does to go back to Kent, but in this area, I mean, we've got our neighbours, and I know a lot of the dog walkers, which is always nice, and we've got my dad and my mum and my brother, so there's not a lot of people around here, but then we're not really massive social butterflies anyway, so it's not really a big deal for us. When was the last time that you had your face painted? Today. I painted all my face on, and yesterday and the day before. I always paint my face on. But if you mean like, theatrically, I cannot remember. I don't think I've ever had my face painted theatrically, not that I can remember anyway, maybe as a toddler, but I don't have the memory of that. How do you feel like when you don't get any message from the one you love? what, like being ignored. I get annoyed. I get angry. I really hate feeling like second fiddle when it comes to Ian, and I want to have his attention like all the time. I'm quite an attention hogger, so if I don't get it, I get angry, and I just think, why am I not getting it? Facebook or Instagram? And that's from Amy Louise. Instagram all the way. Facebook, I don't know what happened to Facebook, and I just don't use it anymore. I have a Sharm page, which is doing all right, I think, and I have my personal profile, but I don't use either of them anymore. I used to use them religiously, especially my Sharm one, because it was such a great way to, it was just another social media page, you know, another great way to connect with people. But I remember when they started saying that you'd have to, when you wanted to do a post, you'd have to pay money for it to reach all of the people that had liked your page. And I was just a bit like, why have we got to pay? So that means some people, but to be honest, that's kind of like YouTube as well. Like, YouTube doesn't push these videos to your entire subscriber base. It pushes it to people that watch these. So for example, if you're watching my Q&A, my next Q&A will get pushed to you. If you don't watch this Q&A, you're not going to know what I'm about this. But if you don't watch this video, the next Q&A more than likely won't get pushed to you. So that's how I feel like the YouTube algorithm works, which I guess is kind of similar to Facebook. You just have to pay if you want to reach all of your people that have liked your page, which I don't know, I don't agree with it at all. So that is it for this month's Q&A. If you'd like to get your question answered in a Q&A like this one, then head on over to ars.fm/Sharmalade and I will do my best to answer your question. Have a wonderful week, everybody, and I will see you very soon for the next Q&A.